Hey everybody, this is Grace, and today is January the 1st, 2023. Yeah. And I like many people, make resolutions, and I only made one, but it's a combination of things. And it was basically that, people have said, and I don't believe in this kind of way of seeing it about me, my life. They say I have a jinx life. I've made videos about that before. And I don't look at it as a jinx life. I do think that it's kind of odd that a lot of things happen to me are really just little things, sometimes little, sometimes big. Okay, but talking to a person with a health condition that's had it since she was a child, that is only 1 in 33 million people have it. Yeah, that's really, really big. So, and then all these little things, and it's like a daily. And let me give an example. My New Year's resolution was basically that I was going to find some way to see if I could stop all these crazy little things happening. And I have the big things to deal with, but not so many little ones. I don't need those little ones. And I know there's no way I can magically do it, but just, try to find a root cause, or is it like, could it be that I'm just clumsy? Because some things happen that it's like, really? Seriously? It's good that I still can keep, and I do, my sense of humor. I can do a video and laugh them off. Some of it you just can't laugh off. I mean, I can't laugh off my health condition, but, the little things I can laugh, off, or I can grumble about them on, like I call this my pressure release valve, and that's that, and I deal with what I can deal with. Some things you can't deal with, some things you can't change, some things you cannot alter in any way, and some things you can. Okay, you can alter your attitude, how you see it, in some, but the whole thing of back to back to back, that's a whole separate video. But I want to try to get a better attitude, a better, more capable of just laughing them off. The ones I should, ones I could. Yeah. Anyway, so my New Year's resolution was basically, I'm going to have a new attitude this year about all this, because they have been weighing me down. Some of these things, oh my goodness, like the whole things with the last year with the healthcare professionals, and just for an example, I had to wean myself off, kinda. My Christmas present to myself was that I'm no longer going to take the insulin, especially since I have rash all over me now. That was the only thing that I was taking that I hadn't taken before. Before I was taking the insulin. All the other medication I've been taking for many years, in other words. And then the only thing new I've added was the like I said, the insulin. And I have spoken to doctors and stuff, and do not take what I say as any form. It is not any form of health care. None. 1 in 33 million is me. And that rare, no. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not a healthcare professional. So what I say, what anybody says, who's not, and who's not yours, and who's not, on and on and on, disclaimers, they shouldn't be giving anybody any advice, and I'm certainly not giving anybody any advice at all. Got it? Good. But let me tell you, seriously, I had to, because this was too much, and I've already spoken to my doctor, my nurse, healthcare professional, so my nurse practitioner. Anyway, to move on, hopefully my skin, in some, as it is, doctors even, I don't know if this nurse practitioner or whatever would have been able to figure it out either, because at the same time, I'd already been on one of them, and I had to get off of it, because that's when I really started getting, I think, the rash, and the irregular heartbeat, but, well, yeah, there was irregular heartbeat, and that whole thing of, what's it called? There's a term they use so often for it. You catch your breath, is like when you're about to cry and you like that, something like that. That what is that term they use? I cannot remember. But there was that. There was the high blood pressure. Let's see. First, it was the high blood pressure. Anyway, I could go on and on. The rash, what else? Oh, hungry all the freaking time. My blood sugar, my glucose was not any lower, and taking insulin twice a day. And I've spoken to more pharmacists as you can imagine. I've even spoke to the pharmaceutical company, which was just really on and on. So many people, unbelievable. And anyway, and I had spoken how do I get off of it, all this kind of stuff. It took forever to get that answer, and not from the ones that originally, no. Anyway, okay, so anyway, let me get back to this. Oh, this is going to be very long. But basically, you know, I wanted this year to be different. Oh, better, please. And my, you know, I'm 59 this year. I'll turn 60. 60 years old. Wow. And all my life has been like that first thing since I was a child. You know, having this adrenal tumor. It's benign, but it's a tumor I've had since then, and causes all kinds of problems. But I want not so many little weird things. Like I said, you know, like this about the clumsy stuff, because I could go and I don't even know an example, like just putting something on a desk and it falls off. Instead, I can try to blame myself. You know, I've actually said this. My depth perception is off, which when you get older, for some people, it is. I'm not a healthcare professional, but anyway. So I'm saying all this. I told Adam, and you know, made mention of all this and of what I plan on for the new year. Okay, and right off the bat, okay, I'm going to leave out a whole bunch. But I didn't get but 3 hours sleep last night. About 3 hours. And right off the bat, some of these things happen. Before 9 o'clock in the morning, before 9 a.m., it's morning, this is what happened. Some of it. Just some of it. Okay, first I was trying to connect my old printer, which I was using on my old computer. And it was probably like 5 years old. I didn't think it was that old, but maybe so. Anyway, it had Windows 10. A lot of things wouldn't work on it. Well, this one is Windows 11. Got a new computer now. So, Windows 11. And Windows 10, I really didn't have many problems with it, except for it wouldn't work on, a webcam would not work on it. Okay? And believe me, I called and I called and I called. Try to get, they said, well, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. Well, it's actually their fault. And then they would say, well, it's actually their fault. Oh my. Okay, that was back then. Well, today, January 1st, 2023, so I tried to hook up the old printer. Now, the old printer, it is old. It was from, I'd say, the mid 2000, like 2005. I think it was actually 2006, maybe, printer. And I liked it because I've always found it ridiculous how much they charge for ink, for these ink cartridges for these things. It's just like, what? You know, when I do print out stuff, it's usually a lot. Okay, and I don't want to go through just one time printing out stuff, and that's like an hour maybe, and then there's no more ink. So this one, I found a place, I don't even remember the name of it, after all these years, that it's very inexpensive, and they still make them. And it's not brand, but it works just as great. I'm serious. I am serious. And so I want to keep that printer. I have 2 since then. Didn't like them, but anyway, I always use this one. It won't work. And believe me, I've had computers since 1982. Okay, 1982. And no, it's not going to work. And I did actually, the last part of it, well, not really, but yeah, the last really was to double check on and try their website for the printer itself, because I just want to see how any printer, I have more than one in my house, so I want to see if any printer could get on there. Nope. Not that it, I don't know its atoms. I don't know. I'm going to have to check more on that. But this one, I went, my old printer. I'm like, why would it not work? Well, it's not going to work. I went to the manufacturers for the printer itself, and no, the Windows 10 was where it stopped. Okay, to be able to go on that. Maybe later on this year, maybe. Okay, but that was after I had just from the same, my computer is a Dell, D-E-L-L. It is a Dell, because it sounds like a Dell. But anyway, and I bought a headset from them too, and it doesn't work on the Windows 10, Windows 11. Don't know. It's unbelievable to me. It's like, what? So I had a hint. That was the first thing I tried, was the headset. And that was when I got this new computer. I got the new computer. It's basically a gift from Adam, because I quit smoking after 44 years. And a few months ago, I just totally quit. Said, nope, that's it. Nope, don't want it new. And he says it's an inspiration to him to finally quit. I'd like to see that. He's older than I'd like to see it, yeah. But anyway, I was going to quit anyway, but that's his gift to me, as he puts it. So anyway, so that was one thing. The printer's not going to work, and I figure I'm going to have to, and I guess it's not going to be that difficult to take the, I don't have an extra monitor. What is that? What in the world? Did you hear that? It sounded just like somebody hit the back of my car, you know, like with their hand. Back of my SUV. But anyway, so it's not going to be all that difficult just to change the monitor cord to that computer, because I left that computer out because I was questioning, is it my old computer? Is this going to be another one of those things where so much goes wrong? Plus, I have a lot of files on my old one, which I uploaded most of them to the cloud, and but some of them I didn't, and I just didn't have time. You know, I had time, I just didn't make time, and I was going to do that later on. So I kept everything next to right there in the office next to it. So see, I'm going to solve that problem. I'm not going to get upset because Murphy's Law. My life, that's probably the better, I have described it as that in the past. I live a Murphy's Law life. I do not believe in Murphy's Law, that kind of thing. But yeah, I do. Okay, that was the first thing that happened. And Adam woke up, and so did the rest of the house. Anyway, then I had to deal, I'll just make this one short. I had to deal with one of these people I've mentioned with the bad behaviors. Yeah. So I'll leave that one there. And then, okay, this is all before 9 a.m., all before 9 o'clock in the morning. And you are driving like crazy. Wow. My goodness, that one actually scared me. That one actually made me want to throw it into gear and get off the road. Kind of crazy. Wow. I need to catch my breath here. Anyway. Okay, now this one was, I decided I was just going to go watch TV and chill. You know, my blood pressure was elevated again. I don't like that. It had been for, I think, November and December, most of December, it had been normal. Then all of a sudden, around the holidays, I mean, right after Christmas, I think, it started getting higher again. Stress, probably. I should not diagnose. I am not a healthcare professional. Anyway, so then, today, before 9 a.m., I went to watch some TV. I watched it on my TV. I watched YouTube on my TV, and was watching, was just flipping through, and I got recommended a channel. And on one of my new channels, I got, I always get things recommended. Usually it's cats and kittens. Kittens, dog rescues, cat rescues, or just cute, funny kittens. These kinds of things is what I usually get recommended. This one, though, I was like, why are they recommending my own channel to me? And started looking at it and said, wait a minute, now whoa. And I'm kind of far away from the TV, so I don't see the very fine line. So I go up to, the channel name. I go and said, that's not me, but that's my title, the way I do my title. And then I could see the description, clicked on it, saw the description. That is exactly my description. I mean, every word is exactly mine. They just copied and used it themselves. It's the same for the title, except they put what are they called these days? Really? Is it still emoticon or what? I can't tell you how many times it's changed. I really can't. But anyway, they put one of those to make it kind of look different or something. I don't know. But it's a woman's name. I started checking into them. It's a woman's name, but it's male hands. Unless she has some major man hands, or is the gender is different, but uses a female name. And I thought, who does that? Like, I don't know. Every year. I think I've had 1 year break from having Copycat. Seriously, since I started over 8 years, August was 8 years on my original channel, I've had somebody to do this Copycat thing. I actually had, it's not this kind of video, but I actually had one person tell me, I don't remember if it was a male or female, or if I knew, that they do the same thing. No, they didn't do the same thing. I checked theirs. It could have been this person, really, that they were going to steal my idea. And I have been on this long, and I have never seen this kind of video. So you see what I'm saying? And by the way, that video, that kind of video, the biggest one is at 150. Let's just say right at 156,000 views. Okay, so this person copied and pasted my description. Not all the description, but the way I put the description, the words I used, but then they add something to it. And not the description, the title. And as for, like I said, the description is mine. What I do. Now these are people are pathetic, really. And then is making several of them a day. Seriously, several of them a day. And I was thinking, man, why did all of a sudden these videos, I have them on more than one channel, those channels I was using to write stories, some of them. And it was just trying this out. Started probably sometime in the summer. And I think could have been before then. Actually, one of them was before then. But anyway, they just go boom. They just do. But now it's like, I thought, okay, holidays. I've been on since YouTube, making videos since 8 years ago, 2014. Yeah, I've seen enough Christmas, New Year's times that, yeah, they sometimes do. But not all of them did. And I'm like, man, really? Seriously? And like I said, they're doing several per day. Well, they're not doing as great as they think that they would. Plus, if they're trying to get monetized, I have actually doubted since I started making those videos that it would get monetized. Seriously, that any channel with that would get monetized. Nothing wrong with it, but it's just, I don't know, it just could be me because But I do have a little more information about that, about not trying to be mysterious, but, I'm a social and behavioral scientist. I was trained in research, and so when something, comes up for me, I really think, when something like this kind of thing happens. I mean, it could, but yeah. I think I could have summed that whole thing up by saying it's not my first rodeo. It's not. It is not my first rodeo with this. Yeah. So I'm kind of waiting to see, if it's going to, I haven't even applied for it. In fact, that channel doesn't have enough subscribers. And I figure it's going to take about a year, since I started it, to get those subscribers, those 1,000. Because I can't even get comments. It's weird. Since I started, and I'm not speaking during most of these. Okay, some of it's just a view, a picture, something like that. And I'll tell you, pretty much, I'm about to switch to this one. I'm going to try. I don't know about it, but since I started, the first year that I started making videos, I would get comments. After that, pretty much not. Except when so many people were trying to get, the small YouTubers were trying to stay monetized. They were, it's just suddenly like, so many people started leaving me comments. I'm not stupid. But anyway, and after that, I'm not stupid. I've been around social behavioral scientists. And, I know other people. Anyway, so ouch. But I hit that thing. But the one thing that the AI likes me on that channel, my original channel, some would say, I call it. I'm going to call it what I call it. I got ghosted by the AI, my original one, and the one after that, which is, if I put it on the right channel, is this one. Oh, if I don't change my mind, that is. But they just don't get much new views. I mean, they're old. Okay, I don't know if that's the reason, but maybe. And what used to get views, like a fair amount of views, now gets maybe a handful or two. So anyway, but except for this, and the thing about it is, what I've noticed so far is it's going to be one of those hashtag shorts, and that is my dogs. Seriously, because one of them just loves talking to me. If I'm sitting at my desk, he'll come up there and he'll just tell me the whole story of his whole day, or why he's ticked off at me, what I should be doing. Of course, it's me who's saying what he's saying, but I used to always love doing that. I used to do it. Kids, they'd laugh and such. But anyway, so I'm thinking about having a channel of just doing those. Yeah, maybe. Okay, I just deleted a clip, but overall, in this, here's a little bit of irony. I did delete the clip because it was what I see as a mantra that someone, it was actually books, but basically about, well, the way I put it to Adam yesterday was, I just want to let things just roll off my back. That's another one of these expressions, but that's not the one. But the one that a lot of people use, I don't think it's right. And that's kind of the irony, is I don't want to constantly see that. You see? to see that the things that people say, some people, some, not everybody, that they don't make sense. Okay, for everyone, see, like this, just like this, just say, common sense. People don't seem to understand that common sense is how you're seeing what is common sense. You and maybe your group around you, but other people will look at it and say, no, there's nothing. Like common sense means it's right. It doesn't mean that it's right. It just means that it's common among you and whomever is in your following, in your group, in your social circle, and those that believe that way. Common sense is not a law. It's not a rule. It's not a fact. And see, I'm tired of feeling the, what is it? The negativity that surrounds seeing something like that. I'm always going to see something like that. I'm always going to see it. You know, between my education and my IQ, high IQ, between the two of them, I'm going to see them. Trying to turn a blind eye. I already tried that more than once. It failed more than once. Because I'm going to see them. You know, see these things that people say as if it's a one-size-fits-all, like that. It's not a one-size-fits-all. Okay, and then they put it out there like, you know, people say, you can't fix stupid. Well, who's saying that? To them, that's common sense. Is it really? Or is it just among the people that are stupid? Yeah, I know. Okay, that pretty much wrapped it up, but I just don't want to have those negative kind of thoughts so much. You know, I'm going to see some, but I just don't have so many reasons to see them. Anyway, after that, I do have a headache. After that, this morning, the whole thing, the computer, the person, let's just say some, you know, like I said, I've done videos about this kind of behavior. Dealing with that, big time. And the whole thing of the copycat, all before 9 a.m., and that's not all. You know what I did? I went and took a nap. Something I want to do again. I only had 3 hours sleep last night. My nap probably lasted maybe an hour or so. So, yeah. Talk to you on another video. And Happy New Year! Yay!